Hi there, and welcome to this day in history for April 10th. April 10th is the 100th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 101st in leap years, with 265 days remaining to the end of the year. This is also Happy Siblings Day. So if you have any siblings, be sure and share the love. Today's word is bibliotaph. Can you guess what it means? If you guessed that it has something to do with books, you are correct. A bibliotaph is one who hoards books. This word comes to us from Greek words that mean book and tomb. Interesting. Bibliotaph. I'd like to remind you that links to my research are included in the show notes. I ask you to go ahead and click that like button. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. And feel free to share this video with others. Don't forget to stay for the outtakes. And with that, we're going to start in the year 837 when Halley's Comet, I've heard it pronounced Halley's and Halley's, but it's spelled Halley's, so that's how I'm going to say it. Halley's Comet made its closest approach to Earth at a distance of 3.2 million miles. In 1710, the Statute of Anne, also known as the Copyright Act of 1710, was the first law regulating copyright. This came into force in Great Britain. This law at the time prescribed a copyright term of 14 years with a provision for renewal of a similar term, during which only the author and the printers to whom they chose to license their work could publish the author's creations. The statute influenced copyright law in several other nations, including the United States. This is the birthday of English minister William Booth, born April 10th, 1829. He founded the Salvation Army and lived to the age of 83. This is the birthday of politician and publisher Joseph Pulitzer, born April 10, 1847. He's best known for his Pulitzer Prize, which was established from an endowment that he made to Columbia University. Joseph Pulitzer lived to the age of 64. In 1858, after the original Big Ben bell cracked during testing, it was recast into a slightly smaller bell by Whitechapel Bell Foundry. By slightly smaller, I mean that the original bell was 16 tons and the recast bell was a little over 15 tons. In 1865, a day after his surrender to Union forces, Confederate General Robert E. Lee addressed his troops for the last time. The American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, ASPCA, was founded in New York City on April 10, 1866 by Henry Bergh. He had been abroad and seen people treat their animals very harshly. It upset him. And on his way back home, he came through England, and they had an association for the prevention of cruelty to animals, and so he founded one here as well. In 1872, the first Arbor Day was celebrated in Nebraska. Arbor Day is a day about trees. National Arbor Day in the United States is celebrated every year on the last Friday in April and is a civic holiday in Nebraska. Other states have their own dates for Arbor Day. The customary observance for Arbor Day is to plant a tree. On the first Arbor Day in 1872, an estimated 1 million trees were planted. Wow, that's a lot of trees. Whether you hug them or not, trees are beneficial. Look, anyone who worries about carbon dioxide, plant more trees. Plants take carbon dioxide, they breathe it in, and they put out oxygen, just the way that we breathe in oxygen and put out carbon dioxide. The solution to carbon dioxide is more trees. People maybe need to go back to their biology classes. O. Henry's second short story collection, The 4 Million, was published on April 10, 1906. This collection included one of his most beloved stories, The Gift of the Magi. I remember the first time I read that. Wowza, on April 10, 1912, the RMS Titanic set sail from Southampton, England, on her maiden and only voyage. This is the birthday of American actor Harry Morgan, born April 10th, 1915. He worked in film, radio, and television, is perhaps best known for his roles in Dragnet and MASH. God bless him. He lived to the age of 96. The Professional Golfers Association, PGA, was created in New York City on April 10th, 1916. The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald was first published in New York City by Charles Scribner's Sons in 1925. This is the birthday of Egyptian actor Omar Sharif, born April 10th, 1932. He lived to the age of 83. On April 10, 1939, Alcoholics Anonymous, AA's Big Book, was first published. The first color stereoscopic or 3D film opened on April 10, 1953. It was The House of Wax, a horror film starring Vincent Price. Yikes. This was one of those movies that you had to have those special glasses, those special green and red paper glasses to get the full effect. This is the birthday of author Anne Lamott, born April 10th, 1954. Happy birthday, Anne Lamott. She writes fiction and nonfiction and is an entertaining read, and I particularly enjoyed her book, Bird by Bird, Some Instructions on Writing and Life. Bird by Bird. My friend Lisa Crocker turned me on to Anne Lamott. Still alive, Anne Lamott turns 67 in 2021. As most breakups are, this one was in the work for several years before they finally did it. But on this day in 1970, Paul McCartney announced that he was leaving the group for personal and professional reasons. On April 10th, 1971, in an attempt to thaw relations with the United States, China hosted the United States table tennis team for a week-long visit. You may have seen a depiction of that in the movie Forrest Gump. Oh, yikes. A tornado landed in Wichita Falls, Texas, killing 42 people in the Red River Valley tornado outbreak on April 10th, 1979. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Glad the weather's nice today. And I hope you did learn something you didn't know before, because I know I sure did. I always do. Again, links to my sources are included in the show notes. Images are retrieved from Bing Images, either public domain or licensed free to use and share. I think the correct terminology is free to share and use. Our lovely outro music is Divine Life Society by Jesse Gallagher from YouTube Music Library, and there's a link to his channel in the show notes. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give it a like. Be sure and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And remember that you can share this video with others with the link in your email, messaging, or social media. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. All right. Okay, for crying out loud. Good grief. All right, let's see here. Okay, do that again. We'll do that in a minute. Thank you. That might not make it into the video. We'll see. Changing it up.